In 2017, GMA aired the first ever documentary about our native agarwood tree, Aquilaria cumingiana. It was later uploaded on YouTube in 2018. Then in January 2018, we started the first commercial seedling production of Aquilaria cumingiana. During that time, we verified the germination technique for Aquilaria cumingiana. You will notice that by 2020, we were still using tissue paper or cotton for germination. And in 2020, we also peeled and soaked the seeds in agua oxigenada. But now, the technique is perfected. We do not use agua oxigenada nor tissue paper anymore, and we do not peel off the seeds. We just plant the seeds directly into the soil. You can see on the left the successful germination of Aquilaria cumingiana, and on the right, the picture shows the successful germination of Aquilaria malaxensis, which are native seeds of the Philippines. Here is a tip I can share with you. The seeds cannot be transported for more than 24 hours in a sealed container. By the time they reach you, they may already be spoiled, and very few, if any, will germinate. If you are interested in cultivating these seeds, you need to ensure they are hand-carried or placed in a basket, not sealed. That is one of the biggest tips we can give you today. I would also like to go back to what my colleague Basil mentioned. It is not a good practice to do what some of our colleagues are doing. We know that agarwood is expensive, but others just cut down random trees in the forest to sell them or to see if the tree they cut down is agarwood. This is not right. That is called illegal logging. We all oppose illegal loggers, and this is not a good practice. This can be done legally, and it is quick enough to earn without resorting to illegal methods. You can do it the legal way. Here's another big tip. If you are going to get planting materials, do not take cuttings and do not get bare root ones. As you can see in the middle picture, Ronald Posadas, the administrator of Philippine tree farmers, wrote there to never ever buy bare root agarwood because he himself fell victim to it. Even if you are an expert at growing plants, you won't succeed. If you are buying seedlings, do not buy cuttings because you won't be able to make them grow and your payment will just go to waste. Also, do not buy bare root wildlings because they won't survive either. When purchasing, make sure to buy seedlings that are already in pots and alive. That way, your payment will be worth it. If you're the one selling agarwood trees, do not sell cuttings or bare root wildlings either. I just want to remind you that the Department of Trade and Industry, DTI, states that if a buyer purchases a defective product, the item should be replaced, or the buyer's payment should be refunded. That's what's proper and fair. So, this is a reminder to all buyers and sellers. Surely, no one wants to buy seeds that will not sprout, nor seedlings that won't survive. So, let's practice fairness in our dealings. Now that you already have the seedlings and would want to grow them, how do you now produce agarwood? And so we go to the most important technology. As you can see on the left, that is the proper production of agarwood, a solid black core with no holes. In the picture on the right, the agarwood production is around 15%, and it's not a solid black and has holes in the middle. So, the proper production method of agarwood is what you see on the left, which is solid black, which yields 30 to 40% agarwood compared to the one on the right, which is only around 15%, with holes in the middle. Let me repeat, the picture on the left shows the better agarwood production, solid black inside. It's easier to process because you need to separate the white from the black. The picture on the right shows the common practice for agarwood production, which is called fungal inoculation. You drill multiple holes and insert fungus, which causes infection in the trunk of the tree, which causes the tree to produce the resin that creates the agarwood. Take note that the trunk has to be processed. The parts that are mostly sold are the black or dark to light brown wood blocks or wood chips. So, you'll need to separate the white from the black. It's labor-intensive. Going back to the left picture, the solid black is easier to work with, and that is one production method. We use many fungal inoculant species to produce agarwood. These include Fusarium solani, Chaetomium globosum, Aspergillus niger. There are many more aside from these. When an agarwood tree gets infected, it starts producing the valuable wood, black, dark brown, or light brown. Now, the common technique we use is fungal inoculation, as shown in the left picture. You can see the black parts, which are the agarwood, and these need to be separated from the white parts. Then, on the right picture, you can see the separation process of the white from the black parts. Even the scraps, the leftover pieces, are processed. These scraps are sold for agarwood oil extraction, so there is still profit even from the leftovers. There are actually many techniques to produce agarwood. To produce flakes or strips of agarwood, the technique looks like what you see in the right picture. The agarwood tree is painted with fungal inoculants to infect it, and then the sheets containing agarwood are produced. There are also other techniques. For example, in the left picture, you can see what illegal loggers do. They wound the tree, leave it for a long time, and then return to cut off the infected part. Another similar technique involves burning the tree to infect it. The picture on the right shows a method called wedging. You take a piece of the tree, apply fungal inoculants inside, and then put the cut piece back into the tree. There are quite a few ways to infect the tree and produce agarwood. The most popular is the fungal inoculation technique, where holes are bored into the tree trunk and the fungus is injected. However, this is not the most efficient technique. There are more efficient methods. Now that you have produced agarwood, here are the next things to learn about selling and trading your agarwood products. We will now tackle the marketing and trading of your agarwood produce. Question: which species of agarwood do you think is the most expensive? Next question: from which country does the most expensive agarwood originate? There are many producer countries, and they are on this list. Look at this next slide. That's not the answer. I just want to stir up your imagination a little bit. In India, they are selling agarwood at 1.4 lakh, which is equivalent to 111,000 Philippine pesos per kilo. But look again at the other price in the middle of the page, at 625 Indian rupees per gram. That is equivalent to 625,000 rupees per kilogram, which is equivalent to 496,000 Philippine pesos per kilogram.
Is Dubai Agarwood Trade 2023. Dubai Agarwood Trade. Look at the price. What is 100,000 dirhams per kilogram? 100,000 dirhams per kilogram is equivalent to 1.5 million pesos per kilo. This was 2023. So that was high end. Again, rare yon, rare. You will see lots of stores in Dubai, lots of stores internationally selling Philippine agarwood at 700,050 pesos per kilo, 400,000 pesos per kilo. That is the selling rate for Philippine agarwood.
And India is not the source of the most expensive agarwood. The fact is, the most expensive agarwood today originates from the Philippines. But another fact is, there is no international standard to determine which species, tree age, or country produces the best agarwood. If you read all the literature reviews, they give different opinions. What does that mean? It means the price of agarwood depends on marketing. Look at this slide again. This is all about marketing. Of course, there is a grading system for agarwood, but the pricing of agarwood depends heavily on marketing. Now, let's move on to the grading of agarwood. The lighter in color the agarwood is, the cheaper it is. The darker it is, the more expensive it becomes. Again, darker agarwood is sold at a higher price. Lighter agarwood is cheaper. Ultimately, it boils down to the inoculation technology that was used to produce the agarwood. So, the price of the agarwood you produce depends largely on how high or low the grade of your agarwood is, which in turn depends on the inoculation technology used to produce it. To summarize, these are the essential things you should learn, obtain, and do for successful agarwood production. Legalities and registration, discussed in another video with Basil. Planting material sourcing and germination. Nursery development. Outplanting technology. Plantation management. Inoculation technology, the most important. Harvesting and processing. Marketing and trading. All of these are the support we provide to our partners and friends, which we have shared with you today. As I mentioned earlier, I hope that these will mostly benefit Filipinos. I just want to show you in this part of the video a sample 10-year-old Agarwood plantation. Thank you everyone for listening.